Hi everybody, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. It's Friday, the start of the weekend is happening. I'm home, I'm relaxing a little bit. I'm gonna have something nice, good for dinner tonight. Tonight I thought we'd just get together and talk a little bit about keto itself and the keto diet, and talk a little bit about just kind of intro to keto and what it is, and some information about it. So I thought I'd do that. So I will tell you that I do have my notes here. So if you see me looking down, you'll see me looking at my notes, just to kind of make sure I'm covering my topics and making sure that I'm giving you the right information and you're getting the best out of it. So I'm kind of hoping that, with this, you also like it. And please give me a thumbs up. I'll tell you, if you do, I need the thumbs up as well as I need some subscribers, because I would like to grow the channel. I would like to make sure that YouTube knows that people are enjoying it. And the reason that they can tell is by people giving it the thumbs up, also as well as subscribers, right? So help me continue to grow the channel. It's actually going at a pretty good pace. I'd like to keep it going. So don't just watch the video, also give it a thumbs up. Please do that. I'd really appreciate it. So I just want to talk, keto diet or ketogenics, right? So however you want to call it, is really just a low carb, high fat diet. It's been around for a long time, right? So it started in the early 1900s. It was actually used to treat epilepsy in children and younger adults. That's how it came to be about. And there's also been some research. There's been over 20 studies that have done different types of diets, and keto has been one of those top ones for people losing weight and also improving their health, right? So some of the health benefits that you see out of it is people improve their diabetes. They either go off the medication or they have to reduce the medication because they're not eating all the sugar and the carbs and stuff. It has been known to help with the cancer and stop growth of cancer and stuff. Also, like I said, epilepsy, Alzheimer's as well. It has the same effect on some effect on Alzheimer's and helping to reverse it or slow it down. Now, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you that scientifically that I can testify to all this stuff, but I'm just a guy on the internet. But I am going to put some references down in the links below, so that you can go on and kind of look at some more data and some more information. So I'll do that. So what is the keto diet? So the keto diet is just really a low carb, like I said, low carb, high fat diet. It does share some similarities with Atkins and low carbs, whereas Atkins and low carbs are just trying to maintain low carbs, whereas the keto diet also takes and wants you to eat more fats, whereas they don't. And that was one of the big things. Now, eating more fats also keeps you fuller and more satisfied. And one of the things about ingesting more fats is that it also helps to increase your metabolic rate and get you into ketosis. And I know the others, Atkins and low carb, does that as well, but it doesn't keep you as satiated as well as the fat does. So it doesn't satisfy that hunger, right? So a lot of times when you have Atkins and low carbs, you get hunger and pains, whereas if you're eating something in high fat, and that fat will keep you full and satisfied, so that you won't feel those hunger pains and you won't crave additional foods. So it's actually a lot easier. It will tell you once you get into ketosis and ketones, your liver starts kicking out ketones. You'll actually feel it. Your brain and everything will get much more energized. It will feel stimulated. So you will really start to notice a difference. It took me a couple of weeks before I really start to feel it. And it took me a little longer than that to really get fully into it and really feel some of the benefits from it. It does reduce your blood sugar, right? So, and also controls your insulin levels. So as the ketones increase. So there's a lot of different variations of the keto diet. You'll hear everybody talk about everything from lazy keto to dirty keto to clean keto to Mediterranean keto to carnivore keto to vegetarian keto. So there's a lot of variations on it, and I'm not going to say that's right or wrong. I will tell you that I try to follow much more of a clean keto or a Mediterranean style keto, just because it's a lot healthier for you. There's a lot more healthier fats in it for you, a lot more higher in omega-3s type of foods that you eat. So, you know, as at my age, I'm just trying to eat the right things that will help me with my overall health. So that was some of the things. So, you know, they do talk about there's a high protein one out there where people will eat a little bit more protein and less fat. And if you're younger and you're trying to build muscle or something of that nature, that may be the way to go. So it's really up to you, right? So I will tell you that, you know, for the way I do it, I try to maintain a 75% fats every day. So I try to get in 75% of my carbs come in from fats. So, and then 20% from protein and about 5% overall carbs. So I really try to mix it up so that my intake is mixed such that, so 75% fat of my intake, 20% protein, and 5% of carbs. So I do track my carbs every day. I put them into a little thing called Carb Manager. It's an app you can get on your phone. I use the free version. That's all you need because you're just tracking your food every day. I know there's some other things that you can do with it if you want to get a paid version. So just kind of a heads up of what you want, right? So ketogenic does help you lose weight, right? So we all know that. But did you know that on an average, it makes you lose about 2.5 times that of what they call the low-fat diet. So those are the traditional diets that our doctors tell us to eat low fats and whole grain foods and of the things of that nature. And it will help with your HDL levels. It will actually help bring them up if you're eating right. Studies have shown that the diet loses almost 3 times as much weight as other diets. So again, I'm going to put some of this information in here. So you want to dig into it and go through it. Several reasons that this, the low-fat diet, it really increases your protein intake because the average person probably when you're eating carbs, you don't actually eat that much protein. Whereas in this, you're going to eat more protein because you want the fat in the protein, if it's meat or vegetables, and you also the protein will actually be lower in carbs as well in general. So therefore, you'll eat more foods that are much higher in protein. I don't know whether I explained that right or not, but. So that's one of the benefits from it. So because you're getting a much higher protein in it, in your diet, and I know people say, oh, no, you don't, but you really do. So if you eat it for a while, you'll find out that you do. It really does cause your ketone levels to rise. It actually will help you start switching over. So you got to understand that when the ketones start kicking in, that it actually creates energy, and it's an energy that your body's burning. Because it doesn't have any carbs or sugars to burn. and I guess I kind of think of it and look at it as this way. So as it's burning carbs and sugar in your body and you eat any kind of fat, it's taking the fat and it's storing it away for future use for a case of emergency. That's just the way the body's designed, right? So when you go into ketosis, the ketones actually start transitioning your body from burning carbs and sugar to start burning fat. So because it doesn't have the energy source for one, it will go after the others and start burning it. I will tell you that after probably about 3 to 6 months, depending on variation of the person, you start actually becoming what they call fat adapted. So if people start measuring ketones in their blood, and they'll see that their ketones will start dropping over time. And that's because they're becoming more and more used to burning fat, and your body is becoming more and more adapt to burning fat. So as you become more adapt to it, the more fat you eat, the better your body can sustain itself. But I will tell you, so one of the huge benefits of this is because diabetes is one of the biggest problems right now in the medical world. I see it all over the world, right? So every place you go, it seems to be pretty prevalent now. And this is really one of those things that actually, if you eat this way, it really will actually change your body and your body, the way your body functions. And it's actually going to start changing your metabolic rates. You're going to start losing weight. Your A1Cs start coming down, and you're going to see dramatic difference in your blood sugar, as well as impairing insulin functions. And it really makes you insulin sensitive. So I know for me, because I've been doing it for so long, that now when I have a cheat meal or something like that, and if it's sugary, boy, I'll tell you, I get a headache from it. It makes me feel like crap. So you really become in tune to it, right? So, and also obesity today in America has become very closely linked with diabetes, right? So it's the #1 cause for diabetes, I believe, in the U.S. today. So if you can control your weight, you can control your diabetes. So I know, like in that data, like I said, some of the information I'll put down below, you'll see that they actually talked about, in one of the studies that they talked about, the type 2 diabetes, that 7 of the 21 patients were able to stop their diabetes medication altogether. So it's been a huge improvement, right? And some of the other ones, up to 92% of them were able to reduce the reduction of insulin medication that they were taking. So it really does have a dramatic effect on diabetes and weight loss. So one of the reasons I started doing it 3 years ago was that when I went to my doctor's and had a physical, he told me that I was pre-diabetic, and it probably pretty soon I would be going in and starting to take pills or something for my insulin, because I was pre-diabetic if I didn't do something. And he was the one, my doctor was the one that suggested I do this. So here I am 3 years later. I'm down 45 pounds. I've been maintaining for probably the last year, 2.5 years. It took me about 6 months to hit my goal. It didn't take very long, but I've been maintaining it and staying relatively close. I gain a couple, I lose a couple. So it kind of goes up and down, but I'm pretty close to that mark where I want to be. It's interesting because actually now that I've kind of learned it, I can actually, if I want to drop a couple of pounds, I can cut down my carb intake a little bit, and I drop a couple pounds, and then I go back up to where I was, and I just kind of stay there. So some of the other health benefits, though, that you will see, and what they've seen from all these tests and from all these studies that they have seen, is that it actually has greatly improved your heart disease. It does help with the cancer, right? And it slows the tumor's growth, because it seems like sugar, for some reason, the sugar has actually helped the cancer, and this actually helps to slow it down. So again, it helps to reduce some of the Alzheimer's symptoms, as well as slow the progression of the disease as well. So all that information is down below. Stuck between a page here. So some of the other things that it does is it talks about Parkinson's disease, and it's finding out that it actually really helps improve the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, as well as they've done some studies with animals and found out that it helps with the brain injury rate and recuperating some of the brain function when it was injured, right? So really staying all that stuff and knowing all that stuff, talking about, what should you be eating, what shouldn't you be eating. So I would go through some of those foods. Sorry, so some of the sugary foods you want to stay away from, right? So soda, of course soda, right? You want to stay away from fruit juices, smoothies, ice cream, candy, any of the sugary stuff like that. That's kind of obvious that you wouldn't eat any of that stuff, right? So now I will tell you that in a lot of you'll see in the videos, if you watch some of my past videos, you'll see that I made some sweets and stuff like that. So we use some sugar substitutes and stuff of that nature. that were actually healthier for you, and some of it just passes through your body and it doesn't cause insulin spikes and stuff of that nature. So it's actually better for you, and you can modify some of that diet so that you can get some of that stuff to fill some of those voids. Again, I keep some of those things, so if I do feel like I want a snack or something like that, I can grab one or two and I can have them, and it's not a big deal. Grains, right? You want to stay away from grains. Like, again, I do a very clean version of it, so I stay away from any wheat-based products, rices, pastas, cereals, oats, things of that nature, grains. Really stay away from them. And I know there's a lot of low-carb ones out there, low-carb breads, low-carb tortilla shells. And for me, because I'm trying to do a very clean version of it, I'm trying to watch what I'm eating. A lot of that stuff causes inflammation in your body. So I stay away from that stuff, even if it says it's low carb. And if it has any kind of grain in it, I would stay away from it, right? Fruits. So the only thing you really want to eat is berries, black raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, all in moderation, you want to stay away from beans and legumes, so you want to stay away from peas and kidney beans and lentil beans and chickpeas, those things. Some of the root vegetables and stuff like that are probably not the best for you, right? Stay away from potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, parsnips, those things that are really the root vegetables are, also called starchy vegetables, right? So I will tell you too that most of the things that you walk in a store and they'll say that they're low carb or that they're or keto, you got to be really careful. So you got to really read them and kind of look at them, because a lot of it is just marketing to sell it to you. So make sure you understand what's in it. Take a look at it. A lot of time it's highly processed when it's probably not the best thing for you to be eating. So I would kind of stay away from those things. I do stay away from I try to stay away from the unhealthy fats, right? So the vegetable oils, the canola oils, the grapeseed oils, the corn oils, any of those things I try to stay away from. Mayonnaise made with soy, I try to eat the healthier foods and stuff of that nature and the healthier oils. So I just, I kind of watch it. Some of the other foods, just kind of watch out for some of the alcohols and stuff of that nature too. Some are okay to have and some are not. So you can have a glass of dry wine, red wine every once in a while, and that's okay. But I would just be careful about the wines. Or beer is probably a no-go, right? So again, it's a wheat, so it's made from barley and hops, and so it's probably not the best of things to eat or drink, I should say, in this case. So just kind of, you got to kind of really watch what you start eating. If you want, I do have a food list. I'm going to see if it will fit down below. I'm not sure it will fit on the space below that food list, and then you can kind of look at it. It's not complete. It's something I've been kind of putting together for a little while now. I'm sure I'm missing things on it, so I'm always willing to add things. So if you see something, if I do put it down below and you look at it and you don't see something particular on there that should be on there, let me know so I can put it on the next version of it. So, all right, I really appreciate it. Some of the foods you should be eating, right? So again, red meats, steaks, ham, sausage, bacon, chicken, turkey, all that stuff is really, really good to eat. I would say I caution you about trying to make sure that you're looking for good sources of that meat. So you want something that's clean. I will tell you, grass-fed, grass-finished, you make sure it says grass-finished. If it's grass-fed, that means just that they fed it a couple of meals of grass and they called it that. But when it's grass-fed and grass-finished, I mean grass its whole life. And usually those meats are much higher in omega-3s than the meats that are fed grain. So you want to try to stay with those grass-fed, grass-finished meats so that you're getting those benefits of those omega-3s compared to the omega-6s, right? Again, you can eat sausage and bacon and all that. I do eat it occasionally, but I don't eat it very often. It's very, very few and far between. Fish, salmon, trout, tuna, mackerel, those are all really, really good. They're really, really high in omega-3s. They have really, really good fatty acid profiles. Eggs as well. We try to eat pasture-raised eggs because they're higher in omega-3s. They say that. I'm not actually sure. In California, everything is cage-free as far as chickens and eggs go. So therefore, I'm not sure there's much benefit to it. But I will tell you that if you do get them and you get one that's pasture-raised, then you crack the egg open and look at the yolk compared to another one, you'll see how much, it's almost orange compared to the yellow, dull yellow color of the other one. So there's a huge difference in it, right? So processed cheese, cheddar cheese, goat cheese, cream cheeses, blue cheeses, mozzarella cheeses. Somebody asked me the other day about almonds. So you can have almonds, you can have walnuts, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds. One of my favorite things, and we usually keep them in the house, is usually pecans. Because I really like the flavor of them. They're buttery and they're pretty good. They're fairly low. You still have to watch careful of the nuts. Macadamia is probably the best nut. It's the lowest carb nut, but it's also the most expensive nut to buy, I think, out there. Except for maybe Philly nuts, which you can't get too much around here. So I guess you can get them when you're in the Philippines, but you can't get them around here because they're probably the lowest carb nut out there. But you don't see too many of them out here. So healthy oils, the olive oil. And olive oil is really good for like putting on salads and making stuff, but it's not great for cooking, right? So it's a fragile oil and it breaks down when you're cooking it. So when you're cooking, you're really going to try to use coconut oils or avocado oils. So those are the best things to try to cook with, right? Whole avocados are great. They're one of those things that pretty staple. I probably eat one a day, pretty close to one a day, maybe not every day, but pretty close. Green vegetables, I think you saw me yesterday in my past video where I ate some broccoli, tomatoes, peppers, those type of things in moderation, right? So I will tell you, condiments are something that you have to be really, really careful because things like ketchup and even mayonnaise and things of that nature, you got to be really careful because a lot of those things that you get them are full of sugars. So you really, really have to be careful of condiments. So just kind of watch and read the label, learn how to read the labels, learn so that when you need a snack or something like that, you eat a little piece of fatty meat, or you eat some fish or sardines or something like that, or mackerel in a can. You keep them in a can, just pop them open, pop a couple in your mouth and eat them. Cheese sticks are really good. Like I said, I keep pecans. I usually have a jar of pecans here on the counter. I used them all up the other day when I cooked those no-bake cookies. So if you're interested in seeing pecans, look at those. So those are always good to grab a handful of those, right? Cheese and olives are always good to have. A couple of hard-boiled eggs are always great to have. Chocolate, you can have chocolate, but it's got to be dark chocolate. So I would suggest that you really have dark chocolate. And so you just be aware that dark chocolate's a little bit bitter, so that you know. So, you can have low-carb milkshakes that are made out of like almond milk and cocoa powder or nut butters, much like the other day when I made that blueberry smoothie, right? So you want to kind of look for that kind of stuff. I will tell you that you can go out and eat. I will tell you that tonight I'm going to actually go grab a burger tonight, but I'll grab it without a bun, and I will grab it plain, and then I will bring my own sugar-free ketchup with me. I also have a couple of outer aisle plant sandwich thins that I bring, and I use those for my buns. They're cauliflower and cheese buns. They're 1 carb a piece versus the 45 carbs that a bun would be. So let me know if you have questions down below. Hopefully you like the video. Subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Like I said, the thumbs up helps me with the algorithm here at YouTube, so we can continue to drive these videos. Hopefully you liked it. Let me know if you have more questions, you want to go deeper into the topics. I'm trying to be conscious about time and everything else. So I just want to try to give you a general overview of the keto diet and some points about it. If you're looking for more detail or more information, let me know in the comments. Also, we have some other videos coming up this week. We're actually talking about, we're going to make a keto pizza this weekend. Great for great for the Super Bowl, right? So one of those things to have on the side to bake for you. So we're talking about that. We're also taking some of the low carb ice cream. We're going to do a taste test this week on some of the low carb ice creams that are out there, and we'll tell you a little bit about that as we do that. So please subscribe and get back to me and let me know what you'd like to see. I've tried to do a couple of videos about what subscribers have mentioned. I don't know how well they came out. I've learned a lot of things on how to videotape because I don't know. But let me know. Comment below, and hopefully you have a great Friday. And we'll see you next time. And have an awesome weekend.